are new to the channel, you can subscribe, leave a comment saying how you found me, things you like and you don't like, things you think I should change. Let's just chop it up. Even to the people who's been watching it for a while, we can chop it up too. If things you want to see different, let me know. But here we go. I have a gun case. Yes, I have my reels in a gun case. My top 5. It's a tough one, people. And I mean tough. We got Shimano, Daiwa, and my Abu Garcia. And I'm just trying to think what combo I'm gonna say is number 5 that I use. These are the reels that I used a lot. And how I decided was the tinkering. I tinkered with them out of the box. How did I feel about it? What it was used for and why it made it to where it made it to. So, I'm not gonna do an honorable mention, even though I feel like I should. I am, and you're gonna be shocked. You're gonna be like, wait, what? All right, people, number 6, technically, it's gonna be the Conquest. And the only reason why it's the Conquest is because I don't use it much, which is odd. I think I'm gonna put it in rotation for my next year, 2023. I'm gonna definitely put it in rotation. I didn't do too much upgrades to it. The only upgrade I did was the Avail spool with none of the magnets, and I actually pulled out the 2 end magnets, and it casts, it bombs. I like the bomb cast. Precision's cool too, but of course I need something that's gonna get out there and stay on the water for a long time. I use a lot of jerk baits, a lot of suspended jerk baits. So this one is number 6. Did not make the top 5. It may change, but yeah. It's paired with a custom 5. No, I'm getting ready to lie to you. This joint is actually paired with a 6.3 medium light Boy custom rod. Travel series. Look at that handle. A lot of people think I'm nuts when I request these long handles, but there's a reason. On the bank, I like to get right along that bank to get that cast. And once I make that cast along the bank, I will literally play off just the back end of the handle to keep it along the bank line, if you get what I mean. So rod's out here and I'm getting that extra 2-3 feet margin just to play off the bank a lot versus my short handle stuff. A lot of people like short handles for bait finesse. It's cool, nothing against it. It's fishing. You do what you want, man. Do what you want. I don't follow any guidelines. There's a bunch of guidelines out there that you can follow. I don't follow guidelines. That's just me. Number five. I know for sure this was gonna make in my top 5. And it probably could go up higher. Mainly because I kind of used it for my heavier stuff. This is the closest thing I have. I'm lying because the Millionaire could have made number 5 over this, but I would pick this up before I pick that Millionaire up, only probably because of the rod. That rod is a 7.6. It's called a 7.5 by Daiwa. and it's a light action rod. But I chose this over that because I trust this reel to do some cover fishing that I wouldn't use the other reels for. And what I mean like cover fishing, like lily pads. I've tried using the other ones with lily pads, man, and there's some videos that'll be coming up where they just were not it. And I should have bought this with me and didn't think about it. Put it off to the side. Wanted to show off the other rods and reels and combos and kind of regret it. Mainly because this one in the bait finesse category is a 15-pound drag in it. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot. Everything clicks, of course. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I actually have a breakdown of this reel because some people were asking how I felt about it. So there is a video on just this reel. I did give it a little upgrades. By the way, the upgrades will pop up across the bottom if you're wondering what those are. Those are the upgrades that I added, or add-ons, either or, whichever one you want to put it at. This was number 5. You're going to be shocked at number 4. Number 4 just recently made it. Wrong way, wrong way, wrong way. Ha. Number 4. And why this reel made number 4? It is Shimano's SLX BFS. I gave this joint an overhaul, and I actually made it cosmetically match Rapella's Trailblazer, the 6.4. This is a light action, light fast action. A lot of the sensitivity is in the tip versus back here. The foam Ava handles are cool. I'm not a true fan of that, but the real reason why I gave this number 4 is this reel was taking apart all the way down to nothing. I broke it down and I actually put a worm shaft bearing on this one, and I actually changed all of those little plastic, I don't know what you would call them. They're not bearings. I guess you would call them retainers or something. I took all of those out, and I want to say it was 5 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it 8 or 9 in here now? I don't know. I have to go over and open it up again and double check it. But I changed out all of those little white retainer things, and I actually put some Kotobi 730 Bay Finesse bearings in it. I changed a lot of stuff. It has an Avail spool in it. It has the brake. I don't even know what that little thing is called. I actually put that in there too. I bought that little thing and stuck it in there just for the look. Of course, I changed the star drag, the spool tension knob. I kind of gave this thing an overhaul, man. That little screw, the nut that holds all of that in place. This was my learning reel, and that's the reason why it made number 4. I learned a lot about reels through this. I found this for a pretty cheap price, 120 bucks. And I was like, you know what? I'll learn from this reel some of the stuff that I was scared to do with the other reels. And if I mess up, I wouldn't be totally mad. And it came out perfect. It made number 4. Originally, it would have been my Corrado that would have made number 4. But this one now has enough of the extra stuff that the other 2 reels had. This reel only actually had 5 bearings. The other 2 are 7. I want to say. But I up this one to 9. So yeah, this made number 4. I really like it. I use it a lot now, and I just got it not too long ago. I will eventually be getting rid of some reels that I don't use. By the way, slide under there. There you go. Right. Number 3. Whew. Number 3. The Gigabyte Gin, which I don't use for its original style of fishing that it's supposed to be for. It's a saltwater bait finesse style fishing. They call it Asian, I think. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, Asian, but it's technically saltwater, and it's for catching rockfish and throwing little 1-gram jigs from the bank. I use it for everything freshwater in the bait finesse category. Trout, bass, bluegill, you name it, because it's smooth and can cast really light lures at a pretty distance. I didn't actually do too much modifications to this reel, and that's another reason why it made number 3. I didn't have to do too much to it. Almost everything clicks out of the box. I didn't change the spool. By the way, all of my line is Various America, and now you can get a discount with my initials IMBTB on their website, which I will have a link in the description leading directly to that. And my discount code carries over on top of anything they're promoting. So like not too long ago, they were doing like a fall sale, 35% off. You can get my code added on top of it and get a discount and get yourself pretty close to almost half off. It is paired with a custom 510 bill by Boy Customs again. This one, as you can see, the handle's a lot shorter. I use it for micro poppers, and it is a 5 gram to 1 gram caster that I use. That's the limitations that I use this for. Even though the rod is configured to 1 gram to 7 grams, I use it 1 to 5. Of course, it's a 4-piece. Everything I use is 4-piece and up. Fast action, 6-pound is what it's rated for, and I have 6-pound on here. It's by Various America, of course. It's a very smooth casting reel, man. Smooth. I didn't do too, like I said, I didn't do too much modifications to it, and it made number 3. Number 2, people. Number 2. Number 2 is the Steez Air. Of course, if you notice, all of the reels have color scheme to match the rod. These are all reel protections by Waney's. In the US, it's called Reel Envy. It's a place you can get them from. Waney's is the maker in Japan. As you can hear, it's clicking. I added and put some stuff in it. I use this for 4 to 8 grams. I throw the whopper plopper on this thing. The 60 anyway. That's the highest I go gram wise. I put the Gecko Baijin spool in here just because the other one had backlash and I was in a rush. I actually have 2 spools for each reel, the main spool and then a secondary spool. Things that I added to this reel. Of course, the Star Drag now has a clicker, thanks to my boy Joe, who's kind of been helping me in the background a lot. Between him, Anorak, and then some of the YouTubers I watch. Little things that were upgraded. They're gonna go across the bottom. The reel is smooth, of course. Is it as smooth as the Gecko Baijin? I'm gonna say yeah. I think this reel might be actually smoother. I'm not 100% sure. I have to do a little bit of a cast off to see. It is really light. Originally, it didn't have any other extra stuff I put in it, like the click and drag, the clicker for the Star Drag. I changed the handle. I made it a little bit bigger, so my hands aren't the smallest. The Tulala helps because of the slow action. The entire rod bends. A lot of people, I read online, a lot of people don't like slow action rods as much anymore. It's becoming a thing of the past from what I was reading on some site. I'm like, that's kind of crazy. I can set the hook a lot harder with this if needed be. And because it's a slow action and the rod bends a lot more, the hook in my head will hold better when the fish is pulling. It's more forgiving versus some of the stiffer rods. And that's the reason why I like this entire combo. The fact that it's just more forgiving. That is number 2, the Steez Air. Trying to keep this brief. Number 1, people, I have the 2016 Bait Finesse Aldebaran, the Aldebaran 30, and the Aldebaran 50, and they have all been modified. The Aldebaran 30 MGL has been modified enough to keep up with number 1. But number 1 is number 1 because I didn't do anything to it at all. It is still in its out of the box state. Number 1, the Aldebaran 22 Bait Finesse MGL 3 spool. I'll start by talking about the customized rod by 365. It is a 6'6" super light. Its ratings is 0.5 to 1.5 grams of casting, lure casting. I actually go up to a 3, but you can definitely see the difference because it starts to slightly flex. It is a ultra thin rod, a concept that I came up with in my head, and he did it. He actually did it for me. I use this rod, this combo, for super light style fishing, and I've caught some big fish on it. I think my biggest right now is like a 4, and it was crazy. So that was fun in itself. The Various America 7-pound test, the 4-pound. This reel is so smooth. If you went to cast it with your eyes closed and you couldn't hear where it hit, you would have never knew this reel cast. That's how smooth it is. I have did nothing to it, even though I kind of want to. I'm not going to yet. I'm gonna, oh shoot, it's on the backside. That's why I'm tripping. I'm glad the first time I looked at it, I didn't even catch that. It's hitting on the backside. That's smooth. Okay. All right. Okay. So that actually is how they did it, to make it smaller to the front, more dynamic shape. A lot of people say the reel is ugly. I use it for 0.5 to 4 grams. This is the reel that I use to throw flies. And I like that it could throw flies. It took away a lot of extra stuff that I had, and I got rid of it. Spinning reels and fly fishing stuff that I had. Only thing I have is like my lures for fly fishing now. I don't have any reels, no rods. There's no comparison. If there was a comparison, the next thing unmodified would probably be the Gecko Baijin. But day and night, man. Gecko Baijin is literally called Queen of the Night. So this is my number 1, man. I picked this reel up even when I'm going with people who are using conventional stuff. This reel's out there and they're like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you catching those little fish? I'm just like, man, I just like catching anything. I am a multi-species fisher now, and I like this setup. I wish I had some lures with me. I would throw those around before I took off. But I got like 15 minutes. I'm not gonna hold you too much longer. Remember to check the description. There might be some surprises in there, some discounts, some things that I didn't talk about. And let me know what your top 5 is, or something you think I should get. I've been looking at the two 2500s by Abu Garcia, but it's a round reel and it's kind of keeping me from getting it. But I see a lot of people using those things, and then I also noticed them things are not cheap at all. Like, I just seen someone post one for like 800 bucks, just the reel. I'm like, wow. Even though Daiwa has a reel that I want that costs $800, I'm not gonna buy it. I'll wait and see what happens in 2023 to see what kind of stuff everyone comes out with in the bait finesse category. Until next time, people, peace out. And like I said, tell me your favorites. I'm just gonna cast around, actually. And I will catch you on the flip side. I'm actually going to use the conquest. Peace out, people. And until next time, remember the Circle lifetime subscription for free. The Squares, other videos.